What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video. We are back with another episode breakdown of episode 10. While last week's episode was a creative endeavour, we are now dealing with Nathaniel's inhuman search. So it's a bit more of an action-packed episode this time, while last week's was possibly one of the best episodes of the entire run. Nathaniel starts by recruiting someone in the S.H.I.E.L.D. bar, a sort of budget bullseye at first, and he predicts his future. He says how the guy he's recruiting will actually die in the future and head to Hydra after a mission goes wrong in the Balkans. He's finding powerful people and giving them powers. This guy? Well, it's John Garrett, of course, who was played by Bill Paxton in earlier seasons and was the recipient of the first Project Deathlock. A very cool callback. However, the actor playing this role was actually Bill Paxton's son, which is again really awesome. Meanwhile, the agents are stuck in the 1980s and they return to the lighthouse to find Roxy from Deke's band, and the rest of his band are also in the lighthouse and now members of S.H.I.E.L.D., official members going through the academy. Funnily, Deke couldn't actually make them official S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, so they had to sign up properly. She talks about how the Triskelion is actually been built, and that's where she hopes to see them, but it is way ahead of schedule. We actually saw it being built in the Ant-Man flashback, and it seems like either Nathaniel is building it himself, or the base they're referring to is Afterlife. I couldn't quite make that out. Medusa is impressed by the lighthouse as Simmons looks very despondent. There's no countdown after the time drive issues last week, and Simmons funnily talks about absolute brainy speak, which I didn't understand at all. But hey, I'm a guy breaking down TV shows on the internet, so take that what you will. Simmons senses Sousa and Daisy's connection, but Simmons needs Deke, and Daisy asks if she remembers anything or what the last thing she remembers, as Daisy says how Simmons was absolutely devastated after the inhibitor was taken out of her, hinting towards that Fitz may be dead, but I don't think he is. Coulson mentions how they need to save Afterlife, as Malik is dangerous as he not only has S.H.I.E.L.D., he also has Afterlife. Of course, bringing Jiang to the lighthouse is a problem. However, just as Agent May is about to tell them or mention that Daisy has a sister, Gordon does his best Nightcrawler impression and brings her to them anyway. So, family reunion time. Daniel shows Garrett how he can predict everything and how he actually has a time stream. This means he has a hell of a lot of power. Garrett actually goes to meet Sybil in the time stream, and if Nathaniel has this, he's actually almost unstoppable. Jiang is being hunted by Malik, and they explain just how Malik is stealing powers from Inhumans, and they come up with a plan to go and save the Inhumans before their powers are stolen. Coulson is, of course, the only recyclable one, because dying is sort of his superpower, and he's the only one who can really go in there. But it's bombshell time as Jiang says they have to get her daughter, as May finally explains Cora to Daisy and how dangerous she actually is. Daisy wonders why she wasn't told by her mother in the original timeline, but Cora killed herself, and that's why her mother left Afterlife to do the charity work, and she's a time anomaly, much like Nathaniel Malik. This time anomaly means that Daisy won't actually exist if her mother doesn't go on the path she had in the past. Garrett is shown the process of stealing Inhumans' powers, and Malik thinks he's doing a good thing by taking powers who he perceives does not deserve them. He thinks the same thing about S.H.I.E.L.D. as they're using their influence to control the world, and that's how it's being perceived, as Mr. Lee is killed by Cora, and his powers are actually taken. Deke has his signature Walkman, as he reminds me once again of Star-Lord, and in a perfect world, these two would actually meet, but hey, life ain't fair, pal. Deke and Simmons discuss Enoch, and he needs to work out why the time drive is not being controlled by Fitz. Seems like Fitz is actually dead, which would explain why Simmons was so distraught last episode, but I still think he is inside the Chronicom High Command somewhere. Funnily, Gordon is the one sending the agents into Afterlife after the whole actual battle with him a few seasons ago. However, Nathaniel Malik knows exactly where he's going to be and goes to take Gordon to have his powers stolen. I kind of think they should have predicted that there, considering that they know or at least they've had experience of them being predicted in the past. Now, Gordon's powers are actually going to be given to Garrett, and Garrett has actually seen the future and lets Coulson know he knows exactly who he is. Hilariously, Garrett's favourite Coulson death is when Loki killed him. A nice MCU reference there. Finally. I also love how Sousa apologised for cursing, very similar to Captain America. Boy, they made dudes different in the 20s, huh? Garrett is worried he will lose his eyes as they debate the evil nature of afterlife, but Garrett has his powers and even keeps those baby blues like he wanted. I really like the actor playing Garrett. His back and forth with Coulson is hilarious as he teleports Malik, and I really did like him, and I hope he is in a few other episodes. Daisy and Ji Yang have a special moment together as Daisy says how Afterlife is special to them, and Sousa drops a clanger that Daisy has been to Afterlife as Ji Yang sees her powers. Her mother says she has a feeling she knows her and realises how Malik stole her powers. He has knowledge of the future, and she finally clocks that, well, the whole thing is power stealing, and she mentions how Kora's Terrigenesis tore them apart. Daisy says she didn't know her mother, and her mother actually really wasn't the best mother. This is some powerful acting and an incredibly touching scene. Garrett reveals that the Deke Squad actually opened for Twisted's sister, which is hilarious. Man, I wish I could have seen that. As Garrett and Malik break into the lighthouse, Gordon is able to actually help Coulson here, as the powers seem to linger a bit in people if their powers are actually stolen, as Gordon sadly dies. The time stream is now fully messed up. Garrett and May face off in the lighthouse, and Malik reveals to Ji Yang that Daisy is actually a daughter, and even manages to drop a Dallas reference. More 80s stuff there for you. I really like Malik as the villain, as he's an evil megalomaniac, but he actually has personality. He even reveals what happened to Ji Yang, and Malik, the lovable douchebag, shoots Ji Yang. Again, the timeline is messed up. Now, Malik was actually after Simmons, which I thought makes a lot of sense, to be honest. They should have seen that coming, and Coulson managed to detain Kora, and the rest of the Inhumans are actually saved. Now, Deke actually has no idea that Simmons has been taken, and he is on the Zephyr when it's stolen by Malik and Garrett. Garrett is loving his life right now, and Simmons wants to know why he was taken, or why she was taken. Well, it's to do with every outcome that Malik and Sybil lose. Well, Fitz is alive in those timelines, so he is alive. Overall, I love this episode, and it had heart and a lot of action. The acting is stunning, and this season really has been one of the best in a long time, in my opinion. They've gone balls to the wall, and Ji Yang's dying means that Daisy will never be born at this point. So I hope they work a way to fix that all out, and I kind of expect them to do some sort of crazy reset, hopefully to bring the actress who plays Daisy into the MCU. Now, next week, Kora has turned into a certified badass and has decided she wants to join S.H.I.E.L.D. and make the universe the best it can be, well, by killing. And she is seemingly a dark version of Daisy, which is pretty neat. I'm not sure who she actually kills, but it might be one of Malik's lackeys or one of his team. And, well, we finally see the Chronicom fleet, as I expect we'll also see Fitz somewhere in there, and I would love it if he was the leader in secret of the Chronicoms. Probably won't happen, but it would be cool if he downloaded his brain into a Chronicom. So let me know what you think in the comments. Did you enjoy this episode? I really did. I thought it was a great episode, and it really is a great season so far. So if you enjoyed the video, please do consider dropping a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll be back soon with an Umbrella Academy Season 2 video. There will be no upload tomorrow due to life and everything, but I need to watch the rest of Season 2. That is it for this video, and goodbye.